Okay, good evening everybody. I welcome you all to today's session, and this is a much awaited session for you all. A lot of you were asking us to do this. So today we bring you part 1 of the important reports and indices for the year 2025. In this session, we will be covering all the major reports and indices that were published and which have ranked India under various heads in the entire year from January till November. All right. So we'll quickly begin with the session without wasting any time, and we will begin with the national indices and reports first, and then we move on to the international. All right. So the first one is the fiscal health index. All right. Now the fiscal health index is important this year because this is the first edition of the report. All right. This is for the first time that the NITI Aayog has published the fiscal health index. All right. So we'll quickly look into the fiscal health index. It is launched by NITI Aayog and this is also the maiden report. So please remember that this is the first time that this index has been published. And in this particular edition, NITI Aayog has covered or collected data from 18 major states. Alright. The base year for this report is 2022 to 23. Alright. That is the fiscal data for the year 22 to 23. It uses 5 sub-indices. So you need to remember the number 5 and you need to remember the names of these 5 indices. Quality of expenditure of the states, revenue mobilization in the respective states, that is how effectively and how quickly can the states generate revenue. Then fiscal prudence, that is how well is that particular state spending its revenue. Then debt index and debt sustainability. All right. In this particular edition, the rankings go this way, that the first state or rank number 1 is Odisha, the second is Chhattisgarh, the third is Goa. Roughly the score ranges from 0 to 100 and the score for Odisha is 67.8. All right. The other scores are around 55 and 53. So this is with respect to fiscal health index. Also, because it is published by NITI Aayog, so you can look a little bit into NITI Aayog, that the NITI Aayog came into existence on 1st of January 2015. This year, NITI Aayog has completed 10 years. All right. Then it is an extra constitutional body. It is neither a statutory body nor a constitutional one, meaning no articles facilitate its establishment and no law. It has been established by an executive order. All right. Okay. And it is headed by the Prime Minister. It is the ex officio. He is the ex officio chairperson. All right. What to add something? No, only this.
So just one static bit here. As far as NITI Aayog is concerned, you should just know the basics of NITI Aayog, that it was first set up on the 1st of January 2015. It replaced the Planning Commission, and we were into the 12th 5-year plan when NITI Aayog, which is basically the think tank of the government, and it replaced the 12th Planning Commission, right? The headquarters of NITI Aayog is in Delhi. In fact, it's very close to a Connaught Place center. And the first chairman of NITI Aayog is the present chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. His name is Arvind Panagria, right? And the vice and the CEO was Kuller. Okay, so the first CEO was Kuller, and the vice chairman was Arvind Panagria, who is the present um, uh, chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. Okay, Article 280 Finance Commission, right? So remember these names, Arvind Panagria and Kuller. As of now, who is the chairman? The Prime Minister, of course. The vice chairman is Suman Berry, and the CEO is BVR Subramanian. Okay, so the important indexes from NITI Aayog is definitely the fiscal health index, and you should also know the last rank went to Punjab in this. The last rank went to Punjab. So first is Odisha and the last one is Punjab, and this is out of 18 states. Okay.
All right. Okay. Then quickly moving to the next one, which is the Indian state of which is the Indian State of Forest Report. Alright, now this particular report is important because it is a biennial report. That is, this particular report, that the data that we have is for the year 2023, and the report was published in December 2024. Alright, so this report is going to be in news and is going to be important for you all for the next 2 years also, till we get the 2025 edition. Alright, so it is a biennial report published once in 2 years. This time, this was the 18th edition of the report, and it is released by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, brought out by Forest Survey of India on a biennial basis, meaning once in 2 years since 1987. Alright. Now, before we go into this, there is one thing, that we have a national forest policy. Alright, a national forest policy which was brought out in 1988. Alright, and this particular forest policy calls for that a sustainable percentage of forest cover in any country, and specifically for India, is 33% of its total geographical area. Alright, meaning that India, if it has 33% of its total geographical area under forest cover, then we have a sustainable green cover in the country. Alright, so this is our actual target that we have set at the national level through the National Forest Policy of 1988. Alright, okay. Now our target is to reach here. This particular report tells us that our present forest cover is 25.17% forest and tree cover. So it is inclusive of forest cover as well as tree cover. So total is 25.17%. This percentage is important. You need to remember it. Total forest cover alone is 21.76% and tree cover is 3.41%. So when you add 21.76 and 3.41%, you get 25.17%. Alright. There has been a significant increase in the forest area since last report of 2021, and that is, it is increased by 1445.81 kilometer square. Alright. Okay. Then maximum increase in forest and tree cover combined. Alright, so maximum increase in the total cover has been experienced in Chhattisgarh, followed by UP, followed by Rajasthan. Maximum increase only in forest cover in Mizoram, followed by Gujarat, Odisha. Largest decrease in forest cover has been witnessed in MP, followed by Ladakh and followed by Karnataka, Ladakh and Nagaland. Achha, now it says that largest decrease in total forest cover is in Madhya Pradesh. But in spite of this, the state with the largest area under forest cover is Madhya Pradesh. Alright. So Madhya Pradesh has the largest area under forest and tree cover, followed by Arunachal Pradesh, followed by Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh has experienced maximum increase in this report, and Madhya Pradesh has experienced the maximum decrease in forest cover in this report. Alright, this is what you have to keep in mind. Other than that, in terms of percentage of forest cover with respect to total geographical area, Lakshadweep has the highest percentage of its total geographical area under forest cover, 91.33%, followed by Mizoram and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Alright, then highest forest cover, 19 states and UTs have above 33% of total geographical area under forest cover. This 33% target outlined under National Forest Policy of 1988. Alright, so these are the states, so I can go through its name. Then mangrove cover, they do tend to sometimes outline mangrove separately to be asked. So mangrove is a special type of forest which comes under tidal forest category or littoral forest category. Alright, just looking into some characteristics of mangrove or tidal forest, there are 2-3 special characteristics. One is that these forests, they have stilted root system, also understood as a tangled root system. Alright, so stilted or tangled root system meaning that whenever you look at mangrove forest stretches or tidal forest stretches, they're always stuck together and they have their all branches mingled together. Why? Because they are in the coastal areas where the sea waves keep on hitting them and they keep on taking away the soil from beneath them. So they stay put, so that they stay put in that particular place. They have a tangled root system. Okay. Another important feature of mangrove forest is that they have breathing root system. All right. Now, breathing root system implies that coastal regions, they experience high tide and low tide. Sometimes during high tides, the sea level rises and the roots of these forests, they go below water, due to which it becomes difficult for these trees to breathe in saline water. So they have breathing roots, which is known as pneumatophores. All right, pneumatophores. All right. So these are two basic characteristics of mangroves that you have to keep in mind. And with respect to mangroves, India has seen this year a total decrease of mangrove cover. All right, Gujarat saw the maximum decrease, followed by Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, etc. All right. वैसे when we look at percentage wise, so West Bengal is the state which has the highest percentage of mangrove forests. Also, when we look at the different categories of forests, there are basically four major ones. One is your tropical evergreen forests. All right. One is tropical deciduous forests. One are your tropical desert forest. All right. Then we have your littoral or tidal forests, and obviously your montane forests. All right. You only need to remember that tropical deciduous forests are the forests which are found in largest percentage in India. Okay. So this is with respect to your Indian state for forest report. All right. Want to add something?
Okay, just one important thing here that ma'am mentioned about the, if you look at the breakup here, have you given the breakup here? Yeah. So ma'am mentioned about the breakup here, that out of this 25.16%, it's divided into two parts. One is 21.76 area, which is the forest cover, and the other one 3.41%, which is the tree cover. You must know what is the difference between a forest cover and tree cover. So forest cover essentially is that the tea canopy, okay, tea canopy is in a 1 hectare land. So minimum what you need is a 1 hectare land, right? And the tea canopy should be more than 10%. That is when it falls under forest cover. If it is not this, then it is tree cover, right? So forest cover, the tea density or the tea canopy has to be more than 10% and minimum 1 hectare of land. Otherwise, it becomes a tree cover here. Okay, so just understand this bit. Also, the Forest Research Institute, was set up in the year 1906, right? It is in Dehradun, which is in Uttarakhand, obviously, and it was set up in 1906, and it is in the it is a heritage site of India, but it is not a World Heritage Site. It's there in the tentative list, right? You know that this year there are 69 sites as of now in the tentative list, and we added 7 this year. Okay, so this is one of the tentative sites. Okay, this is one of the tentative sites. So, do you know the breakup? 45, um, 47, 3 यहाँ पे है 60 and 19. I think something like that is the breakup. We'll
3
just,
I remember is
3, I know this, but so this is coming in the cultural part. So you can just cross verify once.
we have covered this in your UNESCO YouTube session that we had taken, so you can take the data
Anyways, we'll
from
just
that.
get back to you on this. So just remember these key things. 1906, what is the difference between forest cover and tree cover? Second part. Third, it is, I mean, it's just for your general knowledge that this is one of the a national heritage site, but it is not a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is there in the tentative list, and it comes in the cultural category because of its Greco-Roman architecture. Okay, that's the reason why it is there. Also, ma'am mentioned about that this is given by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. You must generally know that who the Union Minister is. He is Bhupender Yadav. Now he is also he is the overall head, the if you look at the IBCA, he is also now the head of IBCA, which is being set up. Okay, Bhupender Yadav, and the Minister of State is Kirti Vardhan Singh. Right, Minister of State is Kirti Vardhan Singh, and the Union Minister is Bhupender Yadav. Also, the country which has got maximum percentage of area under the forest cover. Okay, so that country is Suriname, right? Suriname is the country with the maximum percentage of area under forest cover. Okay, it is more than 90%. Also, the country having maximum area under forest is Russia. The country having maximum number of area under forest is Russia, and the country having maximum percentage area is Suriname. The UT having maximum percentage area under forest, ma'am has already mentioned, is Lakshadweep, and the state having maximum forest area is Madhya Pradesh. Okay.
All right. Now, coming to the next national one is the Panchayat Advancement Index. It's a very small one. So it was launched in 2022 and under Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and it seeks to measure the advancements of 2.5 lakh gram panchayats along 9 LSDGs. So LSDGs means localized sustainable development goals. These 9 LSDGs have been outlined from the 17 sustainable development goals, but these have been outlined at a national level, and they have been outlined majorly for local level governance. All right. So the government has also launched Panchayat Advancement Index 2.0. Now this index was actually given during the month of January, February. Then the government launched PAI 2.0 in May. But this is they've just given a new set of parameters under the 2.0 index. No new rankings have been given. All right. So the rankings go like the first state is Gujarat, followed by Telangana and then Karnataka. All right. These are the 9 LSDGs that have been outlined under the Panchayat Advancement Index. So it's a very minor one. Just keep in mind the ministry, the launch year, 9 LSDGs, and the rankings of the state. All right. Okay. Then coming to the Swachh Sarvekshan rankings this year, which were given in August, September, I think. All right. So this was for the urban areas, for the cities. So it was naturally given by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And in this year, a total of 78 awards were presented. And also, for the first time, they had given awards on the principle of one city, one award. All right. Then, as a result of one city, one award, 34 cities from various states and union territories were declared, and also this time to ensure that a lot of cities or newer cities get into the index rankings, the government this time introduced a new category which was known as Super Swachh Lead City. This was undertaken only for to give a more leveled field or give a fairer chance to other cities who are actually working hard to keep their cities clean. All right. So states or cities like Indore, which has been ranked 1 for 7 consecutive years, like Navi Mumbai, like Surat, etc., they were included in the Super Swachh Cities category, so that newer cities like Lucknow can be included in the cleaner city category. All right. Okay. Along with that, also a special award was conferred on the government of Uttar Pradesh this time, and Prayagraj Mela Adhikari, Municipal Corporation of Prayagraj, because of their wonderful efforts and undertaking of the Kumbh Mela successfully. All right. So this is something that happened especially in this particular year's awards. So please keep this in mind. Then we have city-based classifications. For the first time, city-based classifications with populations were introduced, and cities were ranked in 5 categories. Very small cities, less than 20,000 population. Small cities, population ranging from 20,000 to 50,000. Medium, 50,000 to 3 lakh. Big cities, 3 to 10 lakh. And million plus cities is more than 10 lakh categories. All right. Okay. Launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. You need to remember the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs. So the minister is Manohar Lal Khattar. And also that this year the theme was reduce, reuse and recycle. The 3R was the theme of this year's awards. All right. Okay. When was it launched? It was launched on 2nd of October 2014. The objective was to make India open defecation free by 2nd of October 2019, which kept on increasing. The target kept on increasing to 2021, then 24 to 25, etc. All right. Then coming to your rankings. Now, see, children, you have been given data with respect to the 5 population-wise criteria, categories of cities that they've undertaken, but you only need to keep in mind the more than 10 lakh categories. All right. So, in the Super Swachh League cities, the regions or the cities which had been receiving this award for the past many years, due to which other cities were not getting a chance to receive or enter this category, the Super Swachh League was undertaken. And in this, you only need to remember the more than 10 lakh category: Indore, Surat, Navi Mumbai and Vijayawada. Alright. In the other categories or Swachh Shahar categories, again you only need to remember the more than 10 lakh category: Ahmedabad 1, Bhopal 2 and Lucknow 3. Alright. Lucknow has been included for the first. Alright. Want to add something?
No, I can just add a little bit here that you can also add, Ananya. Is we mentioned about Panchayati Raj Index, the previous slide here, and I think you should just have basic idea about the Panchayati Raj. Ma'am has already mentioned it that the amendment was the 73rd amendment, and we celebrate 24th of April as the Panchayati Raj Day. So 1993, we got this amendment implemented, and the first state to have Panchayati Raj after this amendment was Madhya Pradesh, right? And when was it introduced? For the first time, it was introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru, and it was a Balwant Rai Mehta committee, and this was Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, okay, 2nd of October 1959, in a place called Nagaur in Rajasthan, right? And the Minister for Panchayati Raj is Rajiv Ranjan Singh, right? So just remember this part.
Okay. Then coming to the last one for the national level, which is Financial Inclusion Index. Now, this is a fairly new one. It was launched by the government, not government, by the Reserve Bank of India in 2021. All right. So, 2021, we had the Financial Inclusion Index. Now, before I give you the details of the index, just what is financial inclusion? All right. Financial inclusion is just the basic inclusion or expansion of banking services to as many areas as possible. It seeks to keep a tab on how many people have access to good quality banking services to formalize the economy. This is understood as financial inclusion. All right. So, while or previously, banking services, be it e-banking, be it physical banking through correspondence, etc., was not accessible to a large population in the country, due to which lending process, saving, investment, etc., was mostly very informal in nature. So, to root this out, the government has this agenda of expanding financial services or banking services to even the remotest areas in the country, and this is known as financial inclusion. So, naturally, it ranges on a scale from 0 to 100. 0 means absolutely financially excluded, and 100 means absolute financial inclusion. All right. Okay. So, it was launched in 2021, and you need to remember it is not a Government of India initiative, it is an RBI initiative. All right. So, Reserve Bank of India's financial inclusion here, and this year in March, it takes data from July to July. It takes data from March to March, and it publishes the index in July. All right. So, whatever scores that you get, it is through the period of financial year. All right. So, in March 2025, this year, our score was 67, which rose from 64.2% to in 2024 and 60.1 in 2023. All right. So this, because it is a score out of 100, so roughly you can understand it as 67% people in the country are financially included. All right. Then what you need to keep in mind that it is published annually in July, ranges from 0 to 100. The index has no base year. No base year matlab they don't seek to compare that in 2015 what was the inclusion and with respect to 2015 what the inclusion is now. It only gives you an year by year increase in financial inclusion levels. All right. Then you need to remember it has three parameters: access 35%, usage 40%, and quality 20%. Now, out of these three parameters, you all can see that the usage parameter has the highest weightage. All right. We need to remember that usage has the highest weightage, and the quality parameter, that is this 20%, is a unique feature because it includes financial literacy, meaning that how many people are aware of these banking and financial services, like how many of them know that the government is offering something like this, in the sense banking services, etc. Consumer protection, that your money in the bank, etc., how safe is it, and service equity, that is the banking services, financial services is equal for everybody in the country. There is no discrimination as to only the rich can access the banking services, the poor cannot, nothing like that. All right. So this is financial inclusion index that you can keep in mind. Now coming to international ranks and reports. The first one is the climate risk index. All right. Acha. Now you may get a little confused. Just keep in mind that the climate risk index has been given in two criteria or categories. One is for the short term and one is for the long term. All right. So India has ranked sixth amongst the most affected countries, ranging from the period 1993 to 2022 due to weather events, and short term ranking जो इंडिया की है that is 49th in 2022. The short term ranking is 49 and long term ranking is 6. All right. Okay. What is this? It simply seeks to rank countries depending on the vulnerability to extreme weather events, meaning that in case that India is hit with a sudden major cyclone or an devastating earthquake or a volcanic eruption, etc. So how capable is the country to keep itself safe under such extreme circumstances? All right. Okay. Then it is published by German Watch, and it is an annual publication, that is we get it every year since 2006, and it covers data for the past 30 years. Long term ranking range from the year 1993 till 2022, and short term ranking is only for the year 2022. So in the long term ranking, India has a rank of 6% globally. Short term, India ranked 49 in 2022. All right. Okay, then methodology, it ranks countries based on these 5 basic criteria: fatalities, affected population, economic losses, number of extreme weather events, and long-term impact and short-term impact. Okay, then most affected countries in the long-term category. All right, most affected countries in the long-term category, we have Dominica, China, and Honduras as the worst affected regions. India, Myanmar, Italy, Vanuatu also features in the top 10. India ranks 7th. Most affected countries 2022, that is for the short term, we have Pakistan, Belize, and Italy. All right. So this is what you need to remember. Then coming to the next index. Coming to the next index, corruption perception index. All right. Now, in the corruption perception index, India's rank this year is 96 out of 180 countries. 96 bhi yaad rakhna hai, and you also need to remember 180 countries. All right. India's score is a total of 38. In 2023 index, it ranked 93. All right. Acha, 2023 why? Because this is 2024 data. All right. And this rank that was given in 25 is 24 data. Alright, it is released by Transparency International since 1995, collects data from organizations like World Economic Forum and World Bank, uses a scale of 0 to 100. 0 is highly corrupt and 100 is very, very clean. Alright, global ranks agar dekh lein, the rank number 1 is Denmark, then we have Finland and Singapore. The last rank is South Sudan. Alright, India's neighbors, if we look at, so Pakistan at 135, Sri Lanka 121, Bangladesh 120, 149, China is 76. So China is doing better than us. The others are far worse off. All right. South Sudan याद रखना, Denmark याद रखना. Okay. Then coming to the next one, which is the CIPRI report for 2020-24. All right. This is basically the import-export report. So India has become the second largest arms importer globally. Between, so CIPRI generally gives its reports on a 4-year trend. All right. So this is also from 2020 till 2024. And as per this report, India is the second largest arms importer following Ukraine. So Ukraine is the first one. Naturally, will be the first one because of the Russia-Ukraine war, and US is importing a lot of arms into Ukraine. So India is the second largest. Ukraine is the first largest as per CIPRI. This is the full form of CIPRI, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. This report highlights a decline in India's arms import from Russia and a rise in French arms imports to India. So French say we are undertaking the Rafale jet crafts, etc. Global trends अगर देखें फटाफट, तो Ukraine is the largest arm importer, obviously due to the war going on, and India is ranked the second in arms importer. China exited the top 10 arms importers list. मतलब it has now become a major exporter of arms. All right. For the first time, and Pakistan arms import also surged by 61%, as Pakistan is also undertaking major arms import. All right, so you can see, and China is supplying major arms to Pakistan. All right, then European arm imports increased by 155% due to geopolitical tensions and military rearmament. All right, okay. India's defense imports, Russia say the import declined, but yet Russia still remains. Russia is still the top importer of top import source for India. All right. What does it mean? No, no. Okay. All right. Russia is still the top. Russia is still the top supplier and dropped to 36%. So roughly still 35-36% is given. France emerged as the major supplier with 28%. Global rankings, the top 5 arms exporters between 2020 to 24. United States was the first one. It is exporting maximum armaments. France second, then Russia, then China, then Germany. So China has actually become the 4th largest arms exporter, and it exited the top 10 importer category. All right. So it is a major feat for China. All right. Next, you will tell that. Okay. So CIPRI, what is it? It is an independent international institute. It was founded in 1966 and it has its headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden. All right. Okay.
Just one part regarding the CIPRI report is that India's maximum export is to USA. Now this includes the intermediate as well as the finished products. So India's maximum export is to Armenia. Right? India's maximum finished defense product export is to Armenia. Okay, so remember this bit. Yeah. Okay. I hope you know that Armenia and Azerbaijan, they were under a tussle. They had many wars, and one of them was for this Nagorno-Karabakh region. Not audible. Not at all. Oh, then you do. You do.
Okay. Then coming to the next one, which is the World Happiness Report. Now, the World Happiness Report is released by the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. And this was published on World Happiness Day, which every year is celebrated on the 20th of March. All right. Acha, key highlights: happiest country is Finland for the 8th consecutive year. So for the past 8 years, Finland has been the happiest country, followed by Denmark, Iceland, Sweden. So mostly all these Scandinavian countries are pretty happy and sorted among themselves. India's ranking is 118 this year, 126 it was last year, so fairly a little above 7-8 rankings. Southeast Asian nations, you can see a comparison. Bottom countries are important. Afghanistan is the last one for the 4th consecutive years. Others including Sierra Leone, Lebanon, Malawi and Zimbabwe. Alright, so Afghanistan last hai. India is 118. The first is Finland for past 8.
And Nepal and Pakistan are above it.
And Nepal and Pakistan are above India. Alright, so this is one thing that you may keep in mind. Alright, I don't know how Pakistan will get. Okay, then methodology for this. One thing, it is based on a 3-year average of people's life evaluation. Alright, so for the past 3 years, how happy people are in a particular country, that is what they take in. It has 6 key indicators. So the number 6 is important. Keep in mind the 6 indicators as well. GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom, generosity, perceptions of corruption. Determinants are trust, determinants of happiness, that is trust, social connections, shared meals, etc. Acha. World Happiness Day, why was this entire idea brought into existence or from whom? So it was actually Bhutan, which became the first country to prioritize or to measure the country's development not on lines of GDP but on lines of global gross national happiness. All right, over GDP. So Bhutan, the entire idea is Bhutan. UN gave recognition to this in July 2012, designating 20th March as World Happiness Day, and then also started including happiness as one of the indices. All right. Alright, the 6 key indicators, if you look into it, the GDP per capita in the sense that the gross domestic product per individual in the country. Alright, then social support here simply implies that the social services like health, like education, for the upkeep of the people in general, that how well are they available from the government part as well as amongst the people themselves. Then healthy life expectancy, the health services are fine, the social support is fine, and how long are people living, in the sense that when people are happy, they tend to have a longer life. When you live a more stressful life, your days get shorter. Then freedom of speech, expression, how freely can you speak your mind, there's no curbing. Then generosity, sharing, caring, etc. And perceptions of corruption, that how less or little corruption exists in your respective country. Alright? Okay. Then we have the 10th Sustainable Development Report that was given this year. Now this is significant because of this rank that India has. Alright? Why? Because this is for the first time that India has entered into a 2-digit ranking. Before this, we had our rankings always above 100. This is for the first time that we've entered the below 100 category. What is SDG? Alright. India has entered the 99th rank, the below 100 category in the SDG. Now, what are SDGs? So, Sustainable Development Goals are outlined by United Nations, and they basically outlined 17 goals, and they feel that if the countries align their economic activities, social activities as per these 17 goals, then the countries are going to basically become sustainably developed in a period of 15 years. Alright, so they were launched in 2015 and they have this target to be achieved by 2030. It is a 15-year goal, and they replace the erstwhile goals which are known as Millennium Development Goals. So Millennium Development Goals was from the millennium year, that is 2000 till 2015, but naturally the Millennium Development Goals were not achieved. So the Millennium Development Goals were renewed as Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. Alright? Okay. Then it reviews progress made on the Sustainable Development Goals since their adoption in 2015, published by UN Sustainable Development Solution Network. India has for the first time secured a place among the top 100 out of 193 countries. European countries, especially Nordic nations, continue to rank in the top categories. Finland is ranked number 1, followed by Sweden and Denmark. Alright, Finland, Sweden and Denmark. Many European countries, like this all is not so much important, that East and South Asia have outperformed all other global regions in terms of SDG progress. most UN member states have made strong progress on targets like mobile broadband use SDG 9, access to electricity SDG 7, internet use, under 5 mortality rate SDG 3, neonatal mortality. All right, 5 targets show significant reversals in progress, which is SDG 2 due to obesity, in the sense that SDG 2 says no hunger. All right, so obesity, malnutrition, etc., they're all considered as part of the hunger criteria. And also, we had this one report that suggests that India is on the verge of becoming an obese country by 2040. All right. Okay. Press freedom index 26, press freedom SDG 16, etc. All right. These are your 17 sustainable development goals. They must be on your fingertips. They are important. No poverty, 2 is zero hunger, good health and well-being is 4, third, fourth is quality education, fifth is gender equality, and so on and off. Please read them, go through them, and learn them. All right. Then we have state of world.
Just one second, just go to the last report. Now, just I want to add one point here, that in the last report, ma'am had mentioned about these 17 SDGs, and we also found that Finland is ranked 1 in this, and India's rank is 99. You should also know the last rank. So this report is out of 193 countries, and the last rank is of South Sudan here. The last rank is of South Sudan. Okay. Can I ask you a quick question now? That the capital of South Sudan is Juba, and South Sudan was the last country to join the UN. All right. So my question is, when did South Sudan join UN? All right. When did South Sudan join UN? And South Sudan has not signed the NPT, right? South Sudan has also not signed the NPT. The second thing is that ma'am also mentioned about Nordic countries. Can you tell me what are Nordic countries? And what is the difference between a Nordic country and a Scandinavian country? And what is the difference between a Nordic country and the Scandinavian country? Yes, Hardik, that's right. 2011, South Sudan joined. Hmm. And what is the difference between a Nordic country and a Scandinavian country? Okay, so the Nordic countries would be, so we had the third Nordic conference this time. Nordic conference, India Nordic conference. So the Nordic countries would essentially be Norway, Finland, Sweden, and you would have Denmark and Iceland. So these are 5 countries which form the Nordic countries. And what are the Scandinavian countries? Just Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So that's the basic difference between these two, Nordic countries and the Scandinavian countries. Okay. Yeah. Last.
All right. Then coming to the state of the world population report. Achha, now this particular population report is important because we are into the cycle of conducting our census. All right. So the census data that we had was in 2011, and as per that census data, our population was 121 crore. All right. After that, the next census was supposed to take place in 2021, which did not take place due to COVID. All right. Now we are beginning with the census exercise, and we'll get one half or one third of the data on census in 2026 and the full report of census by 2027. All right. But we still have a number given to us as per our total population. So this has been given to us by State of the World Population Report, which was published by United Nations Population Fund. The name of the report was The Real Fertility Crisis, and according to this report, the total people in the country are 146.39 crore as of April. All right. So the name of the report is again State of the World Population 2025, and this also suggested that the total fertility rate dropped to 1.9%, 1.9 below the replacement level of 2.1. Total fertility rate क्या है? Total fertility rate is the average number of children that a woman can give birth to during her reproductive years, that is roughly from 15 to 45 years. all right. And replacement level of population means that as many people that are dying every year, an equal number of children are being born in that particular year, all right. So 2.1 is considered as replacement level of population, all right. So now our fertility rate is below this replacement level. Matlab now we are moving towards an aging population trend, which countries like Japan, South Korea, etc. are already facing. All right. Okay. Then quickly looking into the various data provided by it. So India now has the world's largest population, and it is believed that our population is going to peak at 170 crores in the next 40 years. Current TFR is 1.9, which is below replacement level, which is 2.1. All right. They've also given a demographic composition saying that youth is around 24%, teens 17%, working age 68%, and elderly is 7% in India. The life expectancy for men is 71 years, women is 74 years in the country, and unrealized fertility is a section of population that cannot achieve desired fertility goals due to poor access to services. All right. Then TFR and all I've already told you all that what it actually means, what is fertility. The determinants of fertility are education, health access, family planning services, etc. There are certain global issues like falling fertility rate in developed countries. So we have countries like Japan, Italy, and South Korea who are facing declining total fertility rates, due to which they have moved towards the problem of aging moved towards the problem of aging population. All right, aging population in the sense that the working population is very less and the older people are pretty high in numbers. Due to which, if you will see in Japan, there are people above 70, above 80 who are still working. All right. Okay. Then this next topic, that is the CIPRI yearbook, we'll do in the part 2 of the reports and indices. And till here, you've got one major chunk of information with respect to the ranks and indices and reports that were published for the year 2025 from January to October. And I'll very soon catch you all with the part 2 of ranks, reports and indices. All right. Thank you, children. Keep studying. यार एक बच्चा उसमें कह रहा है मैम प्लीज हिंदी में समझाओ हिंदी में नहीं समझाओ